Hi, I'm Gina, your gardening gal, and I'm really looking forward to helping you create the outdoor space that you've always dreamed of, especially if you're on a tight budget. Whether that means a new outdoor living space for you to relax in and entertain your family and friends, or maybe it's growing more food for you and your family, possibly just enhancing your existing landscape. Whatever it may be, I'm here to help and encourage you to reach that goal. Please watch the video all the way to the end. It will help grow my channel a lot. Now, let's go play in the dirt. Welcome to my pollinator garden. I wanted to show you what you can do at this time of year in Zone 5, because that's a big question. It's very early spring, what we consider false spring in the Midwest. So there are still things that we can get done in the garden. It is limited, and I want you to keep in mind that we are in Zone 5. I'm in Chicagoland, and I want you to know your zone. If you don't know your growing zone, Google that. You can just type in growing zone USA and it will show you which growing zone you yourself are in. Why that's important is because it will tell you what you should do and what will potentially do best in your area, saving you money in the long run and making you more successful. So know your zone. So what I did last year was I used the leaves that fell on the ground from all the trees around us, and instead of disposing of them, I used them as mulch. So I did do a little bit of raking just so that you could see how much I put on. This was all from this small area. So leaving the leaves on the ground and these stems, which are, I agree, not attractive, but what that's going to do is give the pollinators and the insects something to winter over in. Right now, they're making it through the winter, and we want to encourage that. So don't clean up too well still. It's very early here. I'm going to clean up a little bit, but I'm also going to leave quite a bit on the ground. So what I also want to do is let everybody feel that nice warm sun. I don't want to remove too much of the leaf mulch though, because when that next frost comes, and it is on its way, it won't last for long, but I don't want it to damage all the tiny new growth that we have going on. So you can see here, I've got some buttercups and the echinacea is coming back. That's what these stems are. I am going to prune them back a little bit, but I'm not going to dispose of the stems. I'm just going to put them on my compost pile and let the larvae do their thing. And so you don't want to burn the mulch or dispose of it in any way. Keep it, and besides, I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. So knowing your zone will tell you a number of things, not only what to plant where, but also when. So for instance, these canna bulbs that I just received as a gift the other day cannot go in the ground yet because they are really for either summer in Zone 5 or the higher zones, the more southern. So when you look at the growing map, the growing zone map, and look for your zone so that you know what it is, you'll notice that the higher north, you are, the lower the zone number. And then as it goes down south, the higher the zone number. A little bit confusing, but the cannas, for instance, do well in 6 and below. They will not overwinter. They will grow this summer. I'll be planting them in a container and then bringing them in for the winter because they will not overwinter in Zone 5. So I'll be cutting back this mum real soon. I'll show you more about how and why I'm going to be doing that. But I also wanted to show you the roses. This is a good time of the year. Very early spring is a good time to prune back in Zone 5, to prune back your roses. So I'm not going to be doing that right now. That's going to be my next video. But I want you to keep in mind something very important for roses is you want to use alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and with a rag, and clean off your pruning shears between every cut. The reason for that is because roses are very susceptible to disease, and using the rubbing alcohol will not bring the disease from another plant over to your roses. So give them a good cleaning with rubbing alcohol and you'll be golden. So this is my brand new climber, and I put it in the ground last year. It's doing real well. We're going to be pruning it back, not heavily right now, but you can see we've still got some nice green, and I'm sure we're going to be getting some new growth soon. In my next video, I'll show you more about pruning roses. If you don't have a rain barrel, get one. Super important for a number of reasons. Conserving water is important all across the United States. Also, I have to pay for water. So having several does absolutely help with my water bill. So contact your local municipality and find out if they have a rain barrel program. They do in my town and quite a few others. So what is usually over usually $120 at a big box store, I got for $35. And that was with a city subsidy to encourage people to have rain barrels. This baby is going to save me a lot of money this coming summer because we do have to pay for water. This is my shade garden, and I did uncover the leaves so that I could see what's going on, and I want them to feel the nice, what little sun they get over here. And to show you a couple of things, very pleased with this ground cover. It's called Creeping Jenny, and it did phenomenally well last year. Also, I do see a couple of ferns coming back up. Most everything in the shade garden is pretty delicate, so you want to be careful when you're uncovering taking the mulch off, because everything is still in its very delicate stage. Now, one thing that I am trying not to be too disappointed about, I had a giant blue hosta and I don't see it peeking up yet. Hopefully just in a couple weeks it will be, and we can see how that did. So fingers crossed it starts to peek up out of the dirt. These are my hardy mums, and I'm gonna show you what I did last year and what I'm about to do this year. They did real well last year. These are gardening sleeves. They'll protect my arms from the scratchy stems. So I'm going to do a little bit of pruning on these mums. So I left the dead growth from them on last year to help with the pollinators. Hopefully we've got some larvae living in there, overwintering in there, but also to protect the tender growth underneath from the harsh winter that we have. And you can see I just cleaned these up just for you, just not too long ago, and you can see how well they're doing. I'm going to cover them back up just a little bit, so when that frost comes, like I said, which is on its way, it doesn't damage them. So you can see me gearing up to get this pruning done. Gardening sleeves, highly recommend. They'll protect your arms when you've got short sleeves on and you're out in the hot sun from the scratchy, allergic, etc. that you're going to run across in your garden. So I'm just going to pull these in a little bit. Give them a cut. Doesn't matter too much where. And see how this one did this winter. There's not as much green growth on this one, but that's okay. I'm sure they'll start coming up soon. All this might be considered trash, but absolutely not. We're going to put that right on our compost pile. It's going to add to the soil amendment qualities of compost and help those overwintering insects do their thing. Welcome to my bulb garden. This whole area I planted with crocus. They are the first things to come up in the spring. I don't see them popping just yet. So that's a good indicator of whether we are too early maybe to do all the spring cleanup. And over here we have some tulips. And we all know as gardeners, weeding never ends. We can do it now too. In my handy dandy tool bucket, I have one of my favorite tools, a must-have, inexpensive weeder. It's a simple tool. It's very inexpensive. I'll show you how to use it. Jab it at an angle into the ground, right under the weed, and pop it up. There you have it. Make sure you put all the worms back in the ground, and that job was done. Come on over to my edible wall, my veggie bin. So these are here as the vegetables start to grow. They're going to have something to climb on. This area isn't too ready yet this year for obvious reasons. We're not ready to put anything in the ground just yet. Still too early. All that mum and leaf litter that I showed you is going to go right into here, and we'll put a nice layer of soil and a beautiful layer of compost right on top. This is my outdoor living space. Trimming the grasses back, great time of year to do that. They haven't started growing yet. And I'm gonna be removing, hopefully not wrestling too much with, but I'm sure it's gonna be a battle, itchy and scratchy. Why do I call them that? The leaves are very sharp and they're very big, and they're absolutely beautiful, but they can't be here any longer. I want to get them out of the ground and move to the other side of the house before they actively start growing. So great time of the year to start on that. When pruning your grasses, trees, and shrubs, make sure that you have protection on. Grab them and cut them. Throw that in the veggie bin or on your compost pile. That's good stuff. And I don't know if you can see, we've got some new growth. So now is the time of year to get these done. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Liking, comment, and subscribing will help my channel immensely. I really appreciate it. I do hope you liked this channel and are looking forward to spring just as much as I am. So let me know what zone you're in. You have a great rest of the day.
3 days later.